inform. PJD2102.7FM and 1300 AM. I'm Antonio venturing in here with you again for 2024 Sports Forum. We're off and running January 6, 2024. Boy, we're just a few days away from Decision Day. That's going to be going down next week, so you got to prepare yourself for that. But radio listeners, welcome to Sports Forum, the first Sports Forum for 2024. And as usual, we're here to inform you about sports. We did the same thing in 2023. And this morning, we're going to have a two-part program for you. And we're going to start off this morning with a representative from the St.Maarten Little League and Softball Association. She is the communications officer, if I'm not mistaken, for the St.Maarten Little League Association, and she is here with us for the first half of the program. In the second half of the program, we're going to have representatives from the National Softball Association. They're getting ready to kick off their 2024 season next week, so they're going to be here to prepare you for all the action. But Little League, the interscholastic tournament, is coming down to the end, and we're going to get an update from Ms. Browne. And I mentioned, I didn't give you the name before, but it's Jacky Browne. Welcome to the program, Jacky. First guest for 2024. It's a pleasure to have you in the studios here with me, man.
Welcome. Thank you for inviting the Little League to this interview to give an insight of what's going on for our school tournament, RBC school tournament. And I must say all the best and prosperous new year to you and your listeners.
Yeah. All right. So thanks. Thanks for accepting the invitation and coming in. First time on the program. So you've been around baseball and softball for a long time. You're not a rookie in this area. Tell us a bit. You still playing any softball, or you? Like I have you here to ask the questions. Huh?
I'm still active.
Yeah.
You know, God give me the strength, and my legs are still keeping me up. So yes, I still playing. I believe I got what to offer, and I'm also coaching because I always believe in what you have learned, you should give back. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why I am very passionate in coaching and giving back to my community, especially the female of this island, because they are the ones that are mostly left behind. So that's my goal in life, is to try and make St.Maarten females more active and know that there's a lot of things out there that they can do and accomplish, and that we have, well-rounded females on this island.
Okay, so when did you start off in softball yourself? You started off in softball in Little League.
I did Little League for a very, very short time, but softball was my main thing, because I had a neighbor, she was doing softball, so she brought me to the field when I was like 15 years, and I'm going since.
You're going since.
I'm going since.
Which team you started off with in softball? You were American or Sisters?
Sisters.
Okay, Sisters.
Yeah. Chapotine Sisters. Ooh.
Yeah. What position you played?
I started outfield and then moved into catching, and I've catched for years. I've catched with all the best pitchers on this island, mm-hmm. and going to Canada and playing ball catching, and then I was a complete all around player when I came back. So I played every position except pitching.
Except pitching.
Except pitching. And it's only now that I'm getting an age that I'm doing a little pitching here and there. I started off as a, what do you call it, a trainer pitcher.
Okay.
And, now I'm helping out the teams.
Now you mentioned you work with some of the best pitchers in softball. You remember who was the best back when you started? When you started softball, I got to pick your mind on that.
Yeah, you're picking my mind. Yeah. Oh God, I had Cassandra Baptist. I had Mary Gomes, Debbie Rumbley.
I remember Debbie.
Gwendolyn Houston, I think it was her name, Gwendolyn.
Mm-hmm.
She's now in Curacao or Stacia, one of them there. Oh boy.
I got deep with you. Okay.
Those are the top that I catch for. So yeah.
Those are some of the. Well,
Yeah.
So if you look now, and we can go. You're coaching a school interscholastic team.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Which team are you?
I'm coaching the Academy girls softball team, and we're in second place.
In second place currently.
Yes.
Now, if you compare, because you mentioned you want to work, of course, on getting more females involved. Are you contented with the level of involvement from the youngsters in softball?
It's getting better. It's getting better. Over the years, I have really seen an improvement, and I commend all the coaches, especially the female, not veteran coaches, and to come out and help out. And so far, I've seen a couple of them come out. And not all veterans, but some new ones that really wants to help coach. And I recommend and I commend these ladies for coming out and helping to coach the teams, because we need it. We need as much coaches as possible within the arena of softball for the young girls, really.
Okay, so how now the RBC interscholastic tournament is an annual tournament. How much years the league doing is about? I think
they have over, if I recall, I think it's over 20 odd years that RBC has been sponsoring the Little League tournament, and they refuse to stop. So that tells you that there's something good happening, and it is bringing more kids out to the field and keeping them busy. So we are getting well-rounded youngsters once this RBC continues sponsoring the Little League tournament, and the schools continue participating.
All right, so remind us again how much, because the president was here, he told us in the beginning, how much teams are currently in the competition, because I know it's winding down now, but how much teams are in the competition participating? How many schools?
Schools we had, if I'm not mistaken, 25.
Wow.
Yeah, it's about 20 to 24 schools participated in the RBC school tournament.
Now, is it easy getting coaches to assist with all these schools and the training to prepare them to participate in a big tournament like this?
A long tournament as well. It was a real task getting the coaches, and like I mentioned before, I commend the ladies for coming and lending a hand. The Little League has also put themselves in organizing a coaches seminar to get coaches out, and that was, I think, one of the biggest pull that made a success in getting more coaches to help out with the teams.
Interested in getting them. Radio listeners, if you just joined us, of course, you're in tune to Sports Forum on PJD2102.7, 1300 AM. We're also streaming live on Facebook and 20th Internet Facebook page. First Sports Forum for the year 2024. And I just pulled up an old picture here of the sisters. You can find yourself in that picture. It's kind of fuzzy. It's kind of fuzzy, but it's kind of fuzzy. But this is from 1983.
That one right there in the center.
That one there in the center. You recognize yourself? What?
I've been watching them a couple of times.
You watch? You know, we like to go back and you know, recognize because sports documentation is extremely important. You know, that the youngsters today see that there was good competition and a lot of the persons that they see today walking around, some of the persons that they see today walking around have played the sports and at a very high level as well.
That's right.
You know, so it's extremely important sports to document, you know, a lot of the results and the pictures and the videos, you know, that later on these youngsters who are playing in the interscholastic tournament now can look back and you know, cherish those moments of their youth.
Yes.
But let me get back to the RBC tournament. Right now, you're coming down to the end of the tournament.
Yes.
Tell us a bit. Tell us what about the standings and how the teams are standing, and what's going to happen. What are the plans from here with the interscholastic tournament?
Okay, for the RBC school tournament on January the 9th, next week Tuesday, we would have the MPC Stars going up against the MPC Braves. This would then determine, the winner would determine, go to the finals, and they would then play against the SVP boys, PSVE, my boys, PSVE boys, and then we're gonna close off our RBC tournament on January the 13th. That's next week Saturday. And then we're going to have a variety of games starting from 9 a.m. with the Pee Wee leagues playing the first two games from 9 to 10. And then we're going to go into the primary school. We would start off at 11 with the girls. The Mac Diamonds will go up against the Catholic squad. The Catholic squad is in first place. Mac Diamonds is in second place.
Is the Catholic squad still undefeated, or they went through completely undefeated?
They went through, let me see if I could recall correctly. Not 100, yes, they had 8 games, won without any loss. That is true. You keep up very well with it.
I tried to.
Then at 12:30 we would have the Sister Borgia versus the Mac Boys, and that's also primary. And the Mac Boys is in first place, Borgia second place, and then we would have the girls high school, and that would be the Academy girls going up against the MPC Angels, which the MPC Angels are in first place, Academy in second place. That would take place at 2 o'clock. And at 3:30, we would then have, like I said, the winner from the MPC Stars, our Braves, will go up against the PSVE boys.
All right. Now let's go back to the secondary school girls tournament, because I think those two teams in first place are very close. They went through the season pretty close. I think MPC nudged ahead with one loss, and Academy had 2 losses. Now, tell us a bit about the competitive spirit, because you coach Academy. Tell us a bit about the competitive spirit between these two teams, because I sense a lot of rivalry there, but a lot of a great play as well.
What made the Angels ahead of the Academy girls and the girls in general is that most of their girls are playing in the regular season.
Okay.
So they have a lot of playing experience.
Okay.
And that what put them on the top.
Give them an edge.
Yes. And that is something that we need here in St. Maarten even when we are going abroad, we need a lot of play, and that makes you better in the game, because then you know the situations when a ball come to you, what you have to do. Versus the academy girls, I can just say practically we have 3 girls that are playing in the regular season, and the rest are 11 girls are not. Some of them is the first time they're playing, and but what the academy girls has on their side, and that's a great picture. And Kiki
Fraser.
She has helped the team tremendously, and I would give her the props, because we need to build more pitchers of her caliber in order for St.Maarten to make it to the next level.
Now, moving in, because after this I have the softball federation. Has some of these girls from the interscholastic been scouted by any of the teams that are playing in the regular competition, or
yes, they have. That's actually what should be done, because then it gives them a lot of play. But what Little League also is doing, Little League has a regular season coming up in February, that will also encourage them to play more games. But this time it would not be a school tournament, but it would be just a regular tournament where they can join in with any other girls and play. Unfortunately, last year they didn't have no high school. They only had the primary school. And that also comes because the regular season has started as well. So once the regular season starts, you cannot get the girls to go both ways, because they have their schoolwork to do. So some coordination between that can also be done. But that's the main thing, that the girls are going to the regular season.
I think I asked this question before to the president, but is there any consideration to just continue the format that you have for the entire year instead of switching over for entire season, instead of switching over at this point, and then the players have to go into new teams and stuff like that, and then you get like you get a lot, as opposed to just continuing on with this format, maybe, and just throwing the current teams in new uniforms maybe, but just to maintain some kind of consistency and build on what you already have, because you have something that I sense here that you have a formula that is working.
It's working.
You see the players on the field. They're enthusiastic. They're there. They're participating. They're learning a lot. They're coming out to practice and stuff like that. And is there any discussion? I'm putting you on the spot because I know maybe it's in you.
No, but with my knowledge in being in the sports world, I would say this on my behalf, is that the kids are doing different sports. So you don't want to stick them with one thing the whole year, and as well you have to think on the teachers. Okay? The teachers are also very much involved when the kids are doing a school sport. So they too have basketball, they have football, they have the different sports that they want to get the children. So everything has a scheduled time of play, and then they move on to something else. And I think that's the reason why the Little League just has the school tournament for a period of time, and then the kids can actually do different things if they so please, as well as the school involved in the different other sports. So
tell us a bit about, so you have the finals next week, and after that, what are the plans for Little League for the remainder part of the year? Because I know Little League usually July, August is a tournament month for Little League.
Yes.
What's the plans for the immediately after the interscholastic tournament?
After this interscholastic, we have already sent out a form for registration for February. And these are kids from 5 to 12, 12 to 16, 11 to 13 intermediate, and 13 to 18 intermediate boys to sign up. There's a small fee involved in this registration as well, but that's for starting February. We want to go into that, and then we are also looking at having an invitational tournament, and we have Anguilla, we have Antigua, French St.Maarten, and Dutch St.Maarten. Those are the 4 teams that right now are confirmed.
Okay.
And that's the process that we're looking forward to going. We are also going to invite a coach as well for a coach's pitching training. Okay. So the Little League is really working on trying to bring the game to a higher level, and I am also putting out there with the push that the Little League is doing, all persons or coaches that you're willing to coach, please make the effort to come out to these different trainings that they have in order to elevate your players. This way your players can go out on the field and look better, and when a selection is formed, we can go away and we can finally say St.Maarten has placed 1, 2, or 3 in whichever tournament that we go to. Without us, the trainers, being to a level, we cannot have the children perform the way they should. And then we cannot blame anyone else but ourselves as coaches, because we are not brought up to speed with the modern training that's taking place. Just to go through a short, yesterday I was made aware that there's even these goggles that the children wear. There's a program out there that you can wear these goggles and you can practice on them.
Okay.
So timing for fastball, curves, and different things can be done at home, and that is something so amazing. So parents who will then invest in something for their child to reach to a next level as well, because there is also homework when it comes to sport. People think everything is on the field.
Correct.
It's not only on the field. You can do your homework at home. You can stretch before you reach on the field at home. Before you reach, you can do so much things.
Yeah, you can practice a lot of things and hone in your skills.
And yes, before you reach on the field. So it's just like going to school. You got what you do in school, you got what you do at home. So sports is the same way. But the coaches as well has to come up to speed as to the modern training, so that we can bring these children to a different level. And Little League is doing their utmost best to inform and educate the coaches, the umpires, everyone that volunteer and be around the Little League, that the children can go to our next level.
You guys had a very successful training with coaches. I think you had a full house for 5 or 6 days with a coach.
75 persons attended that, and that was.
Is there a follow-up training coming up to that on that in the coming months for the coaches? Because if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Hyman mentioned something like that. There should be something coming up. Or?
There is for pitching. For pitching, there's a coach that will be coming. Hope I'm not letting the cat out of the bag. No. But it's in February. She will be coming mainly for the coaches.
Okay.
Because we are lacking where pitching technique is concerned.
Agreed.
And having an experienced pitcher trainer come would be a boost for our train our girls, our girls, mainly girls.
So it's a softball.
So it's a softball. Yes, it is for softball and not baseball. It's for softball. We need a level of pitching, and bringing someone in to sort of guide the coaches will make a difference in the long run.
So train the trainer concept. Remind us again of the games that are going on next week for the finals, and invite everyone to come out and look at the finals of the 2023 RBC Interscholastic Little League Baseball and Softball tournament.
Yes, starting on Tuesday the 9th, we will have the MPC Stars going up against the MPC Braves. The winner of that game will then go on to playing on Saturday. And then we would have on Saturday the 13th, we would start off with the Pee Wee League. They would be playing from 9 o'clock up until 11 o'clock. And at 11 o'clock, we would then have the Mac Diamonds girls going up against the Catholic squad. At 12:30, we would have the boys, Sister Borja versus Mac boys. At 2 p.m., we would have girls, Academy girls going up against MPC girls. And at 3:30, we would have the winner of MPC Stars or Braves going up against the PSVE boys. And then we would have the closing ceremony and the prize giving ceremonies after the 3:30 game.
All right, Ms. Browne, there you heard it from Ms. Browne. A lot of action going on next week in the RBC Little League and Softball Tournament. Ms. Browne, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. Your final words before you leave.
Thank you for inviting us, and I would say again to the coaches, we appreciate your time and effort that you have placed coming out to help coach these teams. We appreciate you very much, and we would like to say thank you to the RBC group for continuous sponsorship in our school tournament.
All right, there you heard it from the communications officer from the St.Maarten Little League Softball and Baseball Association. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Ms. Browne. And after the break, we'll be right back with the St.Maarten National Softball Association.
Thank you.
All right.
I didn't even know I had to do one first and then they come in.
Hey.
They just tell me to be here.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much.
Take care.
Thank you.
This informative and educational program can be heard on TV and radio.
I bring back. That's all I got. Morning. Bring a chair. You need to get a chair from over by Lady Grace over there. No. Everybody sit down. It's okay. Stay tuned right back after the break with the St.Maarten National Softball. Yes, indeed. We have a lot of material.
You the competition leader?
You can move up first, Master.
Yeah, I go move up there, buddy.
No. Take this chair and leave Marcus take the other one.
Marcus, right here.
Huh?
Right here, Marcus. So you're between the two ladies. What happened? You want me between them up? I don't understand it. We can get trouble. I thought we would have been finished together, but anyway.
All right. Radio listeners, we're back. PJD2 Sports Forum 102.7 FM. Of course, we have some new guests in the studios with us. And it's a pleasure having this gentleman. I ain't going to leave him go here without asking some good questions. Boy. Well, let me start off with the ladies. We have two ladies in the studios and one gentleman, but one lady says she's not speaking, so means the gentleman have to do all the talking. Let me start off with the president of the St.Maarten, the St.Maarten National Softball Association, Dr. Tameka Lambert. Tameka, welcome back. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you, Mr. Abington. Happy New Year to all the St. Martiners. Happy New Year to all the softball
lovers.
First, I think it's important that we first share with you guys that we have actually shifted the name from St. Maarten National Softball Association to now St. Maarten United Softball Association. So get used to the new name.
Why the shift?
Well, various reasons, but in general, the word united better represents our organization.
Okay.
As you know, our association embodies various different leagues that come together for softball. It also unifies people in general besides softball. You know, persons come together, get to know each other, and in general, it shows that being together, we are stronger together as association. So now it's officially St. Maarten United Softball Association, SUSA, rather than SMSA.
Wow. You gotta update your Facebook page. So who are the new members? You had a new board, because last time you guys were here for the last year, you guys were the interim board.
Yes.
So how is that now with the board for the St. Maarten United Softball United?
Yes. So, yes, indeed, and I think all the persons that were involved in getting softball back on the ground, I appreciate sincerely the interim board in helping us to get to where we were, because they did most of the groundwork. Now that most of the groundwork has been done regarding softball, now we're able to now develop a solid board that can now serve for the next 2 years in that regard. So I guess I can go ahead and introduce the new board.
Right, go right ahead.
Okay. So as it pertains to myself, as you guys know, I'm the president. I was elected as the president. On my left hand, I have my right hand. We have Maso, who's now serving.
I see you gotta go by the microphone. You gotta pull the microphone to you, though. You say you ain't speaking, but you gotta pull the microphone to you. Marcelina Loblack. Good morning. Welcome to the program. First time on the program? No, second time on the program. Second time on the program. So you're back in the board?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Abington. Good morning, radio listeners, softball lovers. We back.
All right. So how are you feeling about the new season and your position? Which position you have on the board?
So we have, let me just run through it real quick. We have Maso as the VP. Then we have Crescencia Brown, which is the secretary. And then we have Isaiah Hyman. She was also the treasurer last year as well too. And then as it pertains to just the regular board members, we have Jules Blyden, Miss Julissa Ellis with Marcus Levenstone, Kiana, Iman Carcion, and Emmanuel LeBlanc, and then finally Miss Ruby Wilkes.
Okay. Pleasant good morning, Ruby. I don't want to make no mistake. Ruby, my favorite banker. Pleasant good morning, Miss Ruby Wilkes. Let me make sure I get that in. You hear me right? Otherwise I get. So let's go over to Mr. Marcus Levenstone, man, the veteran in between him. Mr. Levenstone, come a bit closer to the microphone, man. Come a little bit closer to the microphone, man. Mr. Levenstone, man, welcome to the program. First time in the program, man. You've been around softball and baseball now for how long?
Okay, first of all, thank you very much on behalf then of the Softball Association and the president for allowing me to be here. And to the listeners, well, hope you keep on tuning in to what's happening. Okay, yes, okay. If I put it this way, you asked me for how long we're on St. Maarten or in the world?
In your world.
In your world. Exactly. Well, I'm been in softball and baseball since 1973.
73.
I started this as a young, but I was just barely 16 at that time when I started coaching.
Coaching at 16?
Coaching. Our neighborhood team. Our neighborhood little league team. So I've been around some time in baseball.
Which district that was?
That was on Lago Heights.
Lago Heights in Aruba.
In Aruba. And then softball is from 78. Okay. When I started taking an Abraham the grade school. Most of those players that you see running around here are the veterans that have been here, like Cassandra Baptist, Maritza, Debbie,
Rumbley?
No, Debbie Warner.
Warner.
All of them parachuted in Aruba.
Okay. She was a bad player back in the days. Also a good table tennis player. I saw that.
She is.
Saw that
I believe she still is too.
Yeah.
It wasn't for the knees then.
Well, You fortunate that you ain't got because you still moving around on the field, empowering, coaching, doing everything, man.
All around there.
Yeah, what I did was, after getting into it, I noticed that most of the coaches, they would just go out and coach, but they never study the rules, they wouldn't do that. And I said, if I ever take that job up, I want to know a piece of everything. So I've been from I would say, we just use the phrase, from bottle washing to the captain. So from the bottom straight up.
All right. It's a pleasure having you. Getting greetings from Mark G. Newton. I think he's in Aruba. He's greetings for your consistency in the sport, man. But you also coach, besides doing softball, you also do league and a lot of different things.
Yeah, I do all levels. Once upon a time, I keep using this phrase, once upon a time when I was able, I had Little League, Junior League, Senior League, A class, and then myself I play in AA. So at all levels.
What teams you play for in AA?
You know what? Slits, Amstel, and White Label.
I think Amstel is a strong team, huh?
Now we were. And then we had it softball and baseball.
And Amstel.
Yeah. But the only thing we could have never make it to the finals without it.
You never played AA baseball in St.Maarten? No.
Yes, I did. I played with the Tigers.
Okay.
I played with the Tigers for 5 seasons. And then when they formed that team called Hawks,
Okay.
which the Spots them had that team together with Kenneth Warner, God bless him in wrestling. He pulled me over then to have them as captain and coach them too, and played. But then they had some incidents in there that I didn't like the environment, so I left.
All right.
And then I went back then went to play there with Middle Region team. With
The Cowboys?
The Cowboys, with the request of Mr. Lenny Priest to try to, not control them, but to try to bring them up, because those were some bad boys. When I say bad boys, they kind of play ball at any cost, but the mental part of the game are not really into that.
Hey, radio listeners, of course, we talking softball. We can't have Marcus Levenstone in the studios and not ask him to go down memory lane with us, you know. We can't let him slide off on that one, so we got to include that. So let me go back to you, Tameka, now. Tell us a bit about the plans for 2024 for the United. So how much leagues coming together? Because you mentioned the United meant that different leagues were coming together. So how much leagues are coming together? Let's start off with that first.
So as you know, the association itself, it joins the regular league. So for example, male, female. But last year we actually joined with the male veterans league.
Okay.
And now this year actually we have a new addition. Whereas we're now adding the female veterans league.
Wow.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to basically expand softball so that everybody that has the will, the desire, the love for softball, whether you played 20 years ago and maybe you got a little bit injured and you want to get back into it, everybody have the opportunity to get a little bit digging, from the older heads even up until the young upcoming ones who are also involved in Little League as well too.
So this is going to be a long season.
Well, we keep it within the 6 months, mainly because as it pertains to not only unitedness in our league, we also believe in unitedness and collaboration amongst the other leagues as well too. So we actually incorporate a lot of players from the Little League to gain that additional exposure, but we also keep it to consideration the baseball league as well too. So we're gonna keep it within from January. That's why we ensure to start early. So that we can be finished by June, and that is when baseball can then start, compared to last year, whereas in both seasons we're clashing, and then you have persons having to fly from one field to the other field. So now throughout the year you should have the opportunity to watch softball and baseball.
Okay. All right, listeners, if you just joined us, you're in tune to Sports Forum on PJD2102.7 FM. The first program of the year, we just had in the first part of the program, we had the representative of the St.Maarten Little League and Softball, Little League Baseball and Softball Association. And now we're talking with this United Softball Association. Wow, I got
Get used to it.
Get used to the new name, the new name.
Right.
So it's going till June.
Yes.
And you're starting off the competition next week already.
Yes. So as indicated, our goal was to start as early as possible in January so that we can complete the season prior or leading down to the beginning of baseball. So that's where we're starting. So the first pitch is going to kick off next week, Sunday, officially. Also because Little League is closing off on Saturday, and then we start off with the bigger league on Sunday. So our goal is actually to try to have all 3 levels, because the female vets will actually start a little bit later.
Okay.
Because it's a new league. It's something that we recently introduced. Actually, this idea actually came from, I'm not too sure if you're aware of, but we have the female vets who travel every year faithfully to play either in Aruba or Curacao. And this year it will actually be held in St.Maarten.
Okay.
Right. So embedding this component into our league will give those ladies the opportunity to prepare for this basically female veterans competition in June.
So how much teams you have signed up in the various leagues right now? I don't know who I could turn to for that question. I could just throw it out.
All right, starting off with the females. We have 6 female teams. We have a newcomer.
Yes.
We also have 7 male
Who's a
teams.
newcomer?
Yeah, come out to the field. Come to the field on Sunday.
Give me the scoop here. We love the scoop. Give me the scoop.
And then for the male, we have 7 teams. We have teams that didn't play last year, but is a regular softball team that decided to come back to join us this year, which is I think the Sluggers and the Blue Jays, I believe, and Superstars. The Superstars also we take the part.
Right.
Yes, so Illegales, last year's champ. They're in for a run this year.
And
And spinners as well. And superstars. Spinners as well, you know. These teams that coming out, they're coming for spinners crowd. The head. The head.
Spinners is back.
Yes, spinners is back as well. So they're coming for the head. In the vet.
So the new team and the females are?
Tameka was going to
opening ceremony.
Tameka going to get that late scoop. For the male vet, we also have 6 male vet teams. And then for the
we have a new addition in the
a new addition in the vets, a new male vets came in as well. And then for the female vets, we have 3 female vets.
3 female vets team. So you're looking at some of the older teams that were there before, or
as it pertains to the female vets?
Yeah.
Yes. So you have a lot of females that played like way back in the days, and a lot of times you would see these ladies on the field, but just more so as moral support, you know. But they still have the skill.
Okay.
So now they've decided, hey, let me get a little dig in, and now there's a league amongst each other.
Because I showed Jackie a picture from 1983 of
She's gonna
herself.
recognize herself.
No, she recognized herself. She recognized herself.
What people next to me?
She recognized herself one time. She found herself in the picture one time. So a lot of teams. So this takes a lot of coordination to get everything done.
It does.
Select is enough to have all these games. Well, what days you guys gonna be playing?
So that is also a great addition to this season. I really want to give my hats off for the Department of Sports, the government of sports, really pushing hard in ensuring that we're able to get our lights up. I mean, we ain't the lights on as yet, but they're in the making, and it was promised that we should have the
In the
lights.
pipeline.
Yeah, we should have the lights
out of
soon.
the pipeline. They already tested the first 3-1. That's up the pole that's upstanding.
Okay.
And this morning when I passed, actually on my way here to the studio, I saw them busy still digging and fixing the pole that's in the beginning. So hopefully we're looking somewhere probably end of January, February. Keep our fingers crossed.
So now having lights, we're now able to extend the game days. So we're gonna have games on Thursdays and Fridays as well too. And now the games can now be extended on Saturdays and Sundays. We try to keep it Sunday a little bit early as people have to prepare for work on Monday, but it's gonna be way more games per week. And that is how we're able to get as much games in within the same 6 months per season.
So it's a big operation, no?
It definitely is, but I must say, having gone through last season, it's somewhat the same formula. You just expand on each component now. And I really want to thank the board, but not only the board, just persons within the softball community, whether they're on the board or not. You have persons that still genuinely help out the league. Also, for example, you have Mr. Omar Williams. I want to give my hats off for him. I want to say thank you so much to the Pelican League. For example, this season we're also trying to elevate. So elevate to a more digital aspect of the stats and stuff like that. Because I know we have a lot of players that are getting opportunities to go and play in college. And one of the main things a lot of the coaches are asking for
stats.
are what are the stats?
And videos.
And videos, you know, so we're trying to make it more digital. Like I said, I want to thank Mr. Omar Williams, but also Ms. Jamila Oliver for putting together a training for all our scorers, whereas they were now able to learn now Game Changer.
Okay, I saw that. I was just going to ask you about that. So that's Game Changer training was about gathering more stats and stuff like that.
Yes.
So is it going to be online some way that the players themselves can log in and view their stats, or how exactly is that going to work?
So actually, in working towards this goal, we've actually had to do it in steps. So for the first season, we're not going to have it fully only digital. You understand? We're going to actually, because this season we're still training new persons to be able to learn it. One of the other goals is also to expand persons the skills in how to, for example, score, also how to umpire, because the fact that it's such a big league, you need more hands on deck. So this season we're more so working on, okay, how can we get in the hang of things, and then once we get in the hang of things, by next season then it'll be basically second nature, and then we can then work towards that goal in that regard.
All right, let me go over to the veteran, Mr. Marcus Levenstone. Marcus, they told me you're the competition leader. I said they told me, so we got I asking the question, so if you're not, you could tell me now that you're not. You're the competition leader. It's going to be a very interesting competition with games being played now, besides on the weekends, on different days, and even in the night. What are some of the challenges you foresee in putting a competition like this together? And I know that you must have organized a number of competitions over your decades of involvement in baseball and softball. Any potential challenges that you see that you're going to have to work on to make sure that this is a successful season?
Okay, I'll take the last part of your question first. Yeah, the challenges that we're going to have, which I believe that is a bad habit we have here in St.Maarten, is time. And then the other one is that doing things the way it's supposed to be done. Now, if you have a game scheduled for 1 o'clock and you start a game at 1:30, and that's your first game, now you have to add the next half hour to that for your second game. And then for your third game, that's an hour and a half that you'll be losing. So what I explain, and I trust that they will follow, is that we have our umpires ready to kick off the first game on time every day, and then have our umpires be on the field, to do their part of the game. Because we have a habit that we come to a game and then we want to chat with a friend in the corner and go whatever it is and go and do that. But that's time. And that was prolong the game. But any challenges, I believe that the only challenge I think we'll have is time.
No, you mentioned umpires. What are we doing from? You still have the same umpires? Is the umpire corps was that expanded this year, or you managed to get some new umpires on board?
So as you know, last season what we did was our association basically like I always tell the persons within our season, we are the league. You know, so in various components, we try to cover the various tasks, and one of the tasks in that regard is also umpiring. So last season we had a lot of veterans who stepped up, but also some coaches from different teams that were able to step up and assist with the umpiring. Indeed, when the question was posed, are you interested in still umpiring this season? Many of them indicated yes. All on board in assisting this year as well too. And we have expanded and we have gotten some support from additional persons, but we're still working on getting more, because I always believe that the more hands you have on deck, the lighter each person feels it. So we're still working towards that.
Any trainings forecasts or for the umpires to get them? Because I know the teams usually focus all their own deficiencies and energies on the umpires.
Yes, so actually interesting you asked that question, because actually this Wednesday we have it's called Unifying Our Decisions. So we have an umpires I want to call it a crash course that will be held this Wednesday from 7 until 8:30 for all the umpires who will be umpiring within the league. This will be conducted by Mr. Marcus Levenstone, our competition leader, and that is a course that we'll have for the umpires just to ensure that throughout the season everybody's on the same page. You know, because in umpiring is like everybody go to like a different school, and then when you bring them on to get on the field, it's like So to ensure, or at least to try to work towards everybody being on the same page, we're trying to do what we can on our end. But then we also, I'm not too sure if you're aware, but there's also Umpires Association, if I'm not mistaken. And in talking with Mr. Jones, Elton Jones, he's also indicated that he's having trainings this year for umpires as well too. So that's actually very great, because then that then gives the opportunity for other persons to be trained to become an umpire.
And that's going to be dearly needed with all these games.
Exactly.
I see Mr. Jones out there. I think last year he umpired a lot of games.
Right.
Both league and baseball. So now he's out there every day. I got to really commend him. Every game there, you see him there.
And there's a lot of people that are willing, There's a lot of people that are willing to assist, but at the end of the day, we need the training. You know, we need to provide these persons with the skill so that they can execute their love in different aspects of the game, not only playing, but also umpiring, but also through scoring, and just in general, just supporting softball as a whole.
All right, radio listeners, you're hearing from Tameka Lambert, the president of the Unified St.Maarten Softball Association. We also have in the studios with us competition coordinator Marcus Levenstone, the veteran, and Miss Marcelina Loblack from, she's the VP from the Softball Association, but she's also known from her still beautiful softball tournament. That's coming back this year again? I like to throw that a lot.
Yes, actually, it's coming back this year. This year will be our fifth anniversary on this tournament, the for Cure. So this year we was planning doing just a female edition, but the men teams after last year hype, oh God, it killing me.
Yeah. So
we still considering if we should add the men to this season this year as well. I'm still thinking about it, but we just want to do a female edition for the 5th anniversary, but we're not sure yet.
You're not sure yet. Now, let me go back to Tameka. Tameka, any plans for this year for selection to travel or teams to travel or any tournaments that the United Softball Association? You mentioned the veteran tournament, which is going to be held there. Any other tournaments going to be scheduled to be held here this year? We know last year y'all did the Queen of the Diamond, which what it was.
Yes, we did. We did the Queen of the Diamond coming down to the enemy. I believe in continuity, you know. So the goal is once again to have that competition, hopefully around the same time, around the Emancipation weekend. But I'll be honest with you, I've been so focused in getting this season off the ground. Once everything is in autopilot mode, then I'll then be able to then focus on that. On that
afterwards. So, what are some of the challenges that you're encountering getting this season started? Because there was some discussion about the availability at the Jose Lake. That's resolved now. The softball is at home at Jose Lake.
Yes. That was resolved. I think I won't per se say challenges. I think all of these things are opportunities. You know, for us to learn more about how things are done. You know, when I look at Coach Marcus, you know, he has an answer for every sore, you know, because I'm sure he's been
around a long time. Experience it already.
Exactly, also by going through all of these things, because every time you experience a bottleneck, you go in your books, you research, you know, it empowers you as a person, you know. So I would say, as it pertains to challenges, I don't know. That's a hard question for me to answer, because I try not to look at it as challenges.
Okay. You try not to look at this as a challenge. It's an opportunity then.
Yeah, more like opportunities, you know? Yeah.
But softball is home at Jose Lake,
yes,
and that's not a concern for sure. So now, Marcus, let's go back to you. And being around for so long, are you happy with the way how the sport has developed on St.Maarten? We come down to the end of the program, but I want to pinch in that.
That's a very good question.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah.
Should I answer that question?
I think you're the best person to answer it.
Okay, no, I'm not really, honestly speaking. I think if you speak to a lot of more veterans from our time, they'll tell you no. One, it may sound harsh, but the situation now with our youths is that not only discipline is lacking, to me they don't have that real love for the sport. They just will come out, okay, I got nothing home to do, let me come home and run through a little ball and play the fool a little bit and go. But years ago when you had to train, you running to and from home, but to and from the field, tired or not, but you're going to do it. Then when the coach tell you run, you don't ask him how far, or then you go. Now, in between these, they have a lot of youngsters that are good and could be a lot better. Now, I would say this clearly. I think the sport associations are doing a good job in trying to get things going. So what we need to have here now is maybe then now, with the help of the government, then to have, we can't get many more facilities, but then see how we could put some more time into getting space for them to train. And then because for the years that I've been around, especially on St.Maarten level, we were good at fielding, maybe throwing the ball and running. But when it comes to pitching, we have hell to keep up with the rest. Now, and then when it comes to the mental part of the game, we are up, down. So we need to work on those things. Very much.
Now, let me get this question in. The competition is a combination of fast pitch, slow pitch, or you didn't make no specific distinction?
It's a combination of both.
Both?
Yeah. So you
could use, a pitcher could use any pitching style, or no?
The female is basically fast pitch.
Fast pitch.
And then the veterans is slow pitch.
And the veterans is slow.
Okay. So that's good to
slow,
know.
Medium.
Modified.
And then when you go to the male now, they have modified. But some of them call it modified slow, modified fast. But they're not modified slow and they're not modified fast. The motion is what makes it modified. For like the superstars and the Hurricanes and those kind of teams, sluggers, all those, and illegals, they have what you call like an open house.
Mm-hmm.
That you pitch maybe anything you want.
Anything you want.
Yeah.
All right. We come down to the end of the program already. Time running on us here, boy. I just pull up your stats here from 1987. Marcus Levenstone, on base 26 times. From the Cowboys. Pull up your stats there for you, man. I find this is some of the good thing, but looking back, yeah. So, runs, you had 8 runs, 6 home runs. What? No, not 6 home runs, 6 hits. So no home runs. What the batting average was 230, 231. So it wasn't so bad.
Well, I was telling I got injured.
Okay.
So I didn't play the rest of the season. You can't see much, but I had 14 stitches right across this eye.
This is from 1987 Sports Review. So hopefully that we get the statistics back to where it is so that we could look back in 10 years from now at some of the games that took place. All right. So we coming down to the end. Let's look back. Let me give you your closing words, closing remarks, and of course, anything you want to share that I didn't ask, because of course I asked different things, but any other information you want to share that I didn't ask?
Just to let the radio listeners know, we have different committees. We also have the activity committee. So they're going to have a lot of different activities throughout the season. It's going to be held on the field. Starting off with Valentine's Day, I think, is going to be one of the first activities that they're going to have. Mm-hmm. And then Mother's Day, of course, and then Father's Day, and then leading on to the end. I'm just asking that, softball is back. Let's come out with those great numbers we used to come out with in the past and support the sport. We can do this every year, but if you don't have the fans and the support, just like Little League, I must commend Little League as well. Now that the schools are out, you get more parents coming to the field, because that was the thing of the past. Mm-hmm. The teams are playing, but nobody in the stand supporting them, cheering them. And then when they go away, they lack that. Then they get nervous. So I want to encourage everyone to come out starting next week, Sunday, and don't stop. Let's get softball back where it was, show your love for the sport. Let's just take it to the next level.
All right. Let's go over to the veteran, Mr. Levenstone. Your final words in part in here today. And I got to have you back in the studio to talk a bit more about your career and some of the history, man. Next week is supposed to have Alvin Rumley. in here.
He played once upon a time.
Yeah.
With white label.
So your final words, Mr.
Okay,
Livingston.
first of all, again, ladies, thank you for the opportunity. And to the softball fans, as the young lady said, come out and support and bring the kids out so they can see the game at a different level.
All right. Any words for the teams who coming out and for the competition? You spoke about time. Anything else you wanna?
No, well, in my book, I usually don't like to speak directly to teams. I like to speak to the leaders, because most of the leaders here, they don't lead. They're just there for the, not most of the show, but you have to try to get them to move. So for the leaders, then take it serious and let us get it going. The faster you get in, the faster you get out, the more games you can get in. And then that will make the competition a lot better.
All right. Dr. Lambert.
All right, my final words. The excitement of softball is on from now, January, up until June. You don't have to be a player to be on the field. You can be a spectator. You can be a fan. You can be anything on the softball field. Just come out, support. If you have any sponsors that you know of that can support the league, feel free, let us know. And Mr. Aventurin, thank you so much for having us. And just thank you for everybody that's working towards in making softball a success. Thank you.
All right, radio listeners, that's what we had for you this morning. A two-part program. Until next week, I'm Antonio Venturin. We're way over time. So join me again next week for another interesting program. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.